All right, so let me see who's joined us today. Hi, Denise and Shanna and Dawn. Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. I think I've met Dawn before. You have to close this so I can see the comment. Thank you. Hi, Denise. Yep, got it. I'm sorry. I am running a little bit later than usual. I did share in a group or two what was going on. There's so much going on here at TLC Designs. My shop is doing so. Don't hit this, please, because it's jiggling the camera. The shop is so busy, so busy, and which is very good. I mean, the dies are flying out the door. The Land and Seas die, if you haven't had a chance to grab that, you might want to do that. I'm going to have to put another order in. So if you don't grab it in time and it runs out of stock, I will reorder. It's extremely popular. So let's get started. I want to show you what we're going to work with today. Is the screen in the center? I can't see it. Okay. I want to show you what we're working with today. And it's a brand new. This is Winking Wanda. I have had her in the store for a few months now. She's a digital stamp. And when I created the See You in the Center interactive die, which is what we're working with today, I knew it would be adorable if she was used and she had a friend. And so I have come up with and drawn this little guy here. Isn't he the sweetest? His name is Gazing Gabe. His eyes are real big and he's just gazing off into the distance. I think like he's daydreaming or something, and I thought, how cute would it be? Now you'll notice the little hearts. If you ever see these little hearts on any illustrations that are in my store, I have drawn them. They are completely mine, and I want to know, I was going to ask you ladies, if I made these into polymer stamps with a set of sentiments with it, and maybe a few little things like logs for them to perch on, or a tree branch or something like that, I was wondering if you all would like to see them in polymer as well as digital. I know I got some messages from ladies that don't work with digitals at all. All it really is like you're printing a letter, you just put it through the printer, but you know, not everybody has printers, not everyone has the same abilities as everyone else, but we all love to craft. So I want to offer stamps and images and illustrations that everybody can enjoy in the way that they can enjoy it. So this is what the die does. So the illustrations go to the outer edge, and this die comes with this cute little frame. I did that intentionally because it almost looks like the critters are hanging out and there's a frame behind, like someone's taking a picture of them or something, and then you pull it together and you turn this dial and they meet in the center. Isn't that sweet? So I want to make this with you today. I want to do the assembly of the double die, or the See You in the Center die. This is the second interactive die in the shop, and I think that everyone will really enjoy them. It's got a few more brads on this, but it is not complicated. Full instructions are on the back as well, and I'll show you that package in just a minute. But this is the project we're going to work with, and this is the stamp. It's called Hopping Friends, and this just says friends are better when they get together, which I thought was really super cute. And on the back here, it's a half scored card, and I just used the outline die that comes with it so that it wasn't a full. It just gives it a little bit more punch. So let's get started with the other stuff that's in the store. I wanted to show you, this is him, little Gazing Gabe. Now when I colored it, I added dots and spots and waves and things like that, but he comes just like this. I'm off center. He comes just like this. And then this is the one that I colored. I just printed it out so that you all could see how sweet he is. And I added glitter and things like that. So he is new in the store after we get off the live tonight because I ran out of time and did not get a chance to put him in the store. But he will be the same price as Winking Wanda, and he'll be a digital stamp currently. If you guys think that you'd like to see him in polymer, let me know. Oh, thank you, Dawn. She likes the card. Yeah, it is going to be a sweet card, and it'll be fun to do it together with you. This one might last a little bit more towards the hour and 15 minutes. Just depends on how long it takes me to express the full instructions for the See You in the Center die. I don't know if I'm amazing, but I really love what I do, so I really appreciate that, Dawn. I think all crafters are amazing. Oh, she's in Canada. Wonderful. So tonight, like I said, this is new in the store. This is the sentiment set called Hopping Friends. I hope I'm in the center. It takes a minute or two for the thing to actually show up. So it has, for the double dial die and the See You in the Center die, it has the arrows. Now the See You in the Center actual dial is not a full round circle like the double dial die is. It's a straighter, but you can still put one little arrow on there showing left or right to turn. I forgot to actually stamp that on, but we'll do that tonight if we get a chance. And it says things like jumping and for joy, hopping, love you, happy to know you, friends are better when they get together, somebody loves you, somebody's here for you, all sorts of little hopping and bunny things, so that when you use this, it goes perfect and coordinates with the double dial die. But like you said, like I showed you tonight, it does go with any actual interactive die because it's a lot of movement going on, but it also has regular sentiments like somebody likes you. You can put it with any bunny stamp, and I'm thinking I'm putting bunnies in the store as a second collection than owls because I think people really enjoy bunny rabbits. So that is new and in the store. And let me see what else. Okay, this is the 12-piece See You in the Center die. Oh, I'll add it later then. It's probably because you're on the Tammy Louise Facebook page instead of Handmade by TLC. Did you get them all in? Okay. Can you turn that this way, or are you going to read them to me when they ask something? That would be helpful. You're going to do it on yours? Okay. So now I have my computer back and I can see where the actual die is. Anyway, back to what I wanted to show you, this product. It has an outer die to actually cut the larger frames, so you're automatically getting that base die. And then it has the actual frame die itself. And then it has that little frame like I showed you earlier. So here's the base die itself. Here's the one that actually goes a little bit larger. And this is the little frame. It cuts the front, the inside and the outside. When you cut on the inside, you get this cute matching die cut that you could use also on any kind of layered card or whatever. What Pam says, oh, she likes the post. Okay. All right, I think I'm keeping up pretty well with what's going on with you ladies. So it's been hot here in Michigan, but we are trying to keep up with the weather, and it's getting a little rainy. Soon we'll be into the fall season, so it'll be good. I'm going to come out with a few really cute little fall things. But so those are the dies that you get in this set, and then these are some of the interactive pieces that create the dial, and you need to put them together. And I wanted to go over just a few things because there are some additions to this set that I did not have in the double dial die set, and I want to show you them. I showed a sneak peek of what was going on with this a week or two ago, and I made this die set so that here is the dial, okay? It has several different settings because what I wanted to be able to do was use this slot mechanism anywhere on any card. You do not have to use it with just this frame. Any sort of frame that you might have, you can use it with. And I wanted to be able to place it anywhere I want it on the card. If I want my card to be horizontally set, I could put something down lower, or I could put something way up high. Or, let me show you one that is not horizontal. This one. This one is more vertical, and you need a longer length when you're going to create with it so that you can still see the bottom of the dial. So that's why it has several different settings. And then when you're using it vertically, there's a difference between this slot mechanism and this one, and it's that one of them will go farther across the card. If you use this big slot mechanism on the smaller, on the more of a vertical set, basically, you're not going to have enough room to finish the mechanism. So I created one that is smaller. Now this longer one is perfect for when you're going across a larger space. See? It creates more of an opportunity to put your image way out here and way out here. So that is one of the differences that I wanted to explain when it comes to this interactive die product. It is a little bit different and a little bit more technically involved, or it offers more, and it has more ability. It gives you the power to use it in more different situations.
Love the contour idea.
Oh, good. This is something that I was using in almost all of my YouTube videos for the assembly of the double dial die. I had created one of the arms and put a little slot in it, and was using it in order to close the actual brads. So I want to show you real quick. So what I did was created a die that will give all of the operators that use this die set the ability to easily create one of these little tools, and it comes in so handy. I'm so glad that I actually added this to it. So cut 2 or 3 of these, okay, tape them together, and create your tool. It actually says tool on it so that you can tell what it is. And when you're assembling the interactive portion of the See You in the Center or the double dial die, you have 2 or 3 layers with the holes in it, and then you put this in, and you can easily open the wings of the brad, just like that, and then slide it out. And what that does is gives you a perfect gap so that there's no amount of large pressure on the papers. This is an interactive die. You want that paper to move real smooth, so that's what this tool is for. And I'm very happy that I added it to it, because I had some ladies concerned with why the brads wouldn't open, and they couldn't figure out what it was that they needed to put underneath the brad while they're opening the wings, and I showed them this and they thought it was brilliant. So that is included in this set. And I already explained that this is multiple use, so we're going to show you how to do that. And I showed you the difference between the size of the slot mechanism. This is also another tool.
Like a spacer.
Yes, like a spacer, Denise. Brilliant. Yes, exactly. This is a tool where if you had, let's pretend this is the bottom of the card. If you had your mechanism, the dial, underneath here, the card isn't going to sit on the table correctly. You're not going to be able to put it up anywhere. So what I wanted to do was to be capable of actually neatly and evenly give this dial the amount of space that it needs according to where the slots are in the bottom of any card. See how that works? So you just put this. First, we're going to build the slots. We're going to turn this over, and we're going to find out how far up do I need to put this tool. So you can never use the first hole or the last hole to match with the slots. You can't use those because you need those for the arms that are going to move the mechanism. So this is the first hole that you could use, and if I were to use that this high up in this card, and not use that slot, you wouldn't be able to see it and you wouldn't be able to turn it. So this actually cuts you as much space as you need on the bottom of the card. You know, you can take it all the way this way. If you wanted to go all the way up, it doesn't make any difference. That's what this is for. It gives you the opportunity to make space for the dot.
Reactor dies amaze me.
Thanks. I think I just like the store products, I know what I want to work with, and as a card designer, I started out as a card designer 10, 12 years ago. I worked at Whimsy Stamps and a few other places. Sentimental Sundays was one of the design teams that I was on, and I think you just know what you like, and you think to yourself, how could I use those? And I come up with them. And my husband actually helps me. I'm going to give him a little bit of credit. He's quite the engineer. He does help with the geometry of the wings that used in the slot mechanisms. So, yay, James.
Yay!
Yeah, he helps me a little bit, and we work really well together. He's actually sitting next to me, making sure that I don't miss any of your comments. So, he's been a gem. That is what's going on with this die set. Also, I want to point out one other thing. In the double dial die, the washers are round. These are oblong because the way that this geometrically works, and in order to get your object to move farther out on the card itself. What happened to the card? Do you know? Oh, maybe it's here. I needed space.
Collaborative effort.
Yes, you needed space in order for the objects to actually move from the outer side of the card to the inner side of the card. So it's more of an oblong. It holds the brads, and the arms move the actual washers. And then you pop your illustration on top of the washer. That's how this entire mechanism works. I want to show you. My good friend Cassie Hewlett has actually made an adorable little turtle die, or a turtle project with this die already, and it's adorable. And I wanted to show you when you make the die cut, okay? The actual mechanism of the slots, you're going to need a hole in the center between the two slots. However, I did not allow it to cut the hole when you put the slot in, because in order to create the mechanism, you have to have a hole there, but you don't necessarily want to see a hole in your designer paper, right? So once you make the slots, you can use this portion of a little die. You just put it right in the center, tape it down, run it through. It creates your hole on this cardstock, but not your design paper. So then what you're going to do is adhere all the way around here, and you can't, I mean, you're going to see a teeny tiny little bump in the center here, but it's nothing that's noticeable. I promise you, as long as you use a flat brad, you're not going to know it's there, and there's no worse for the wear. Okay, you could even, if you didn't want to use design paper on this, that's perfectly fine. Die cut one out on a white sheet of paper, do your distress inking or your oxide inking or whatever, cut it and put the slots in without that little hole, and it's the same thing. You're just applying a color to the actual base, okay? So those are some of the small things that make this die set as special as I think it is, and I hope that you all take a peek at some more of the tutorials that I plan on adding for the assembly of this dial to my YouTube channel. If you're not, yes, bats moving towards ghosts, absolutely. Pumpkins moving in a pumpkin patch. I might have to do something for that, ladies. So that's the set that I wanted to explain to you, and this is the one I'm giving away tonight. By the way, anyone that's joining me from any other groups, where did you get the owl bird from? Blaine is asking. he is in a different group. Let me add this message to it. I illustrated the owl. Winking Wanda is in my store now. Jim, can you go in and add a message? Just give everyone a link to TLCDesigns.shop. And his name is Gazing Gabe. Will be available after the live. I promise I will get him in there. He's adorable, and the two of them together are just rock solid cute, in my opinion. And these Winking Wanda's been really popular in Australia. So any of you ladies, that's another thing that I love about digitals. You can turn them whatever way you want. You can make them whatever size, and you can order them from anywhere and not worry about shipping, and it's immediate gratification. So
Candace's first time seeing you guys.
oh, hi Candace. Glad to have you with us. TLCDesigns.shop is the store that's online, and it is worldwide now, ladies. I do ship worldwide. It is no longer US only, so if you live someplace outside the continental US, Blaine says they are adorable. Thank you, Blaine. So you don't get Blaine on the regular feed. He must be, Blaine must be in a different Facebook page. He isn't showing up on here. If Blaine, I do not know if Blaine is a woman or a man. I apologize. Commented, oh, they are in Paper People. Oh, in Canada. Gotcha. We have a lot of Canadians tonight. That's interesting. Nice to have you with me. I'm glad you could enjoy and join in and have some fun and talk about crafty stuff and get your mind off of all of what's actually going on in the world. So please put the link to the website. Candace London Metz is asking for a link. Add it again. You have to put the www dot in front of it because it won't work. I don't know why. He did put it on there once. He's going to do it again, I promise. Oh, Shayna Slater shared it. There it is. What is that? That's weird looking. Look at how it's showing up. Huh. Okay, so this is the See You in the Center interactive die that we're going to give away this tonight to one person that stays with me all the way through. We're going to draw a number and have at it, and you will get the Hopping Friends sentiment set as well. So, having said all of that, I wanted to show you this Land and Seas die because we are going to use the grass die today. This is new as of about a week ago in the store, week or two. This one is the Aztec Sunshine Circle, and we are going to use the clouds and the bird. And this one is the Tiny Vine Oval, and I love this. I created with it on the Apple a Day die just, I believe it was last week, and I mentioned and thought of, while we were doing that, these be really cute if we snipped them off at the edge of the green, and that's exactly what I did. Look at how cute. Now some of it is hid behind Wanda here, but you can just tuck that green in. Let me see if I can move them out of the way. Nope, they're directly over, but look how cute. And I just put a white over the green vine and sequins in the center. That's all there was to it. Look at how adorable. Okay, so another way to use these dies together, they all pretty much coordinate. I want to show you, I have a digital paper called Watercolor Naturals, which we're using today for the green vine and the blue clouds. So we got this green and we have the blue. These are all handmade by me, and you get all the natural colors, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, okay, and some violet. And
We got
you can
the
print
move.
as many as you need. What?
Yeah, they move.
What move?
Your card moves.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Candace, it's an interactive card. Isn't that fun? Let me show you again. I'm sorry. I want to, yeah, they move. And what's really cute is they move all the way to the outside of the frame. And then with this dial that you add on here, they come together in the center. That's why it's called See You in the Center. And it says, friends are better when they get together. Isn't that sweet? Look at how glittery and cute they are. I'm in love with this owl. I think he's adorable. He's definitely going to be a polymer stamp. I think I'm gonna put her in the set with them and kind of come up with some really sweet sentiments and maybe a perch for them to sit on or something. Wouldn't that be sweet? Okay, yes, it moves. It is interactive. Now, I also have a design paper called Crafty and Sweet in the store, and I used the brown because it has a texture. I used plain brown, just like this. And this is the great thing about the grass die in the Land and Seas die set. When you put the die in the center of the paper, you get two different hills of grass. I want to show you this in green. We've worked with this before. I think it was on the apple a day. You get one that looks like this and then one that is opposite of it. Isn't that cool? So you could layer this and it would look really cute on a project. And you get that just by cutting it once in the center of a paper. So we are using these today. I wanted to show you how that works.
So Karen's asking, so the digital paper is downloaded and we print on our own.
Absolutely, Kareen. It's just like if you had a letter you wanted to print from Microsoft Word or something. You just pull up the JPEG that you get sent to your email after you purchase it. Comes directly to your email. You unzip the file itself and you open up whatever JPEG you want to print and you just print it out. That's all there is to it. And it looks just like this. See, this craft paper kind of has a little bit of a corrugated look inside it. Gives the feel of a little bit of texture on it, and all of these papers especially have that same texture. That's why they're in the same set. You see it on the black. So you get like this little cardboard box kind of feel with all these really pretty colors that coordinate. It's called Crafty and Sweet and it's in the store now. I love Moda Scrap. I'm gonna come up with some watercolor papers that have this feel to it, and I really love this pink color, but I don't appreciate, some of these designs are too big and they're not what I would do particularly, but I do love this set for some of the craft paper designs that are in it and this little starry one that we're gonna use today. So I did want to tell everyone that I used that. So I want to introduce two new dies that are in the store as of 2 days ago. I believe it's 2 or 3 days ago. Yeah, James, you have to make sure I'm not missing questions.
I think you get more than I do on yours.
Well, then you need to do it from here, honey. And don't miss them, because that woman says thank you for answering, because I think maybe other people are asking. If you're asking a question or I've missed something, please don't hesitate to, here's the mouse. Don't hesitate to re-ask. My husband's going to look at my computer. I think he was trying to do it from his, and it didn't show everything. Now, if it comes from a different group, like paper people, it'll show up on the other side of the screen. And I've already answered him and talked to him, so her or him, I don't know. The Star Spangled Confetti die. Look at how sweet. So I'm thinking not only, what? Oh, good. Not only 4th of July. We're talking about Christmas. We're talking about congratulations on winning first place. Anything that has to do with something that you really want that bang and that pow to be sent to a grandchild, something like that. This is perfect. It has a little bit of confetti. You can make it into a shaker card. cut these out of some of that shimmer paper I worked with a few weeks back, and then make like even just the little one and put 10 or 15 of them on inside of the shaker card. And it would be perfect for all of those occasions. I can't wait to work with it. It looks just like an ornament. You can actually make ornaments for your tree. Anything with this. This comes with the outside die, okay, which, as you know, I've explained it before, but I'll do it again real quick. You can put this on any score of a card. Yes, the sugar cookie. Too cute. So if you had your regular card paper and you put the die on it and left this section out, it would not cut away. So your card would then be only a star and it would stay together. Then all you'd have to do in order to get a different color in this is completely cut it out of a different color and layer it on top. You'll never know that this is behind here. Okay, behind your actual design paper. Then this die set also comes with, and I want to show you, let me see if I can find, I think I just saw it, here it is. I want to show you what this looks like. This is my prototype that I get when I manufacture them, and we get them from the die company. So, what?
A star-shaped card is sweet.
Yes, this is the star base, so it is the largest die. Where's the little bump on the thingy? It goes this way. There we go. Okay, so that is the larger base die, and it's cut with this one. Then you have this other die that comes out looking like this. It's more of a centerpiece. And look at how cute that looks. It's got so much faux stitch in there. It really makes it look like you could do a baby card, an invitation to a baby shower, anything like that. We have the Easy Salutations sentiment set in the store, and this would make a perfect baby shower card for a boy or a girl. It looks like, you know, pastel colors. So that is cut with this one. This is the piece that you can get if you use both this one and the larger die together. You could use this just as a frame on the top of the card. Huh? Yeah, aren't they sweet? And then this can be used anywhere. Now I'm picturing this as some design in the background of a project where the little boy and the little girl are sitting in front of a lake or something, and they're looking at the moon or the stars, and these stars actually cut out from the back of the card. Look at how this looks. So this is the larger, this one, this die here, okay, with this cut in the center of it. Look at how sweet. Am I showing that too close? The problem with you doing it from mine is I can't really tell what it looks like. Look at how sweet. You get so much of that detail.
The double stitch is adorable.
Thank you. And then this is what it would look like on a regular card. If you just used it for a card in the background, it almost looks like a constellations die. It's just super sweet. So that is all of the stuff that comes in this particular set, and it is in the store now as well. I'm going to be creating, what I've done is I've decided to release what I have designed as soon as possible. We're calling it the store starter die sets, and I plan on every week using a different one and trying to release as many as I can so that you all can start playing with them as well. So we finished this one. Oh, and this one. It is called Cherry on Top. And if you had an opportunity last week to visit the live, I used the Apple a Day die set and created a project in the shape of an actual apple. James, you should see if you can find that apple for me. It's right there. It says hi on it. Yep. So this is last week's project with the Apple a Day die. Isn't that sweet? It's a shaped card, and I made this one into an invitation. It has that tiny vine oval vine that comes with it. It has flowers.
Pretty in a night sky background.
What?
It would be pretty in a night sky background.
You have to talk a little bit louder so that I can hear you. It would look beautiful on a night sky background. It comes with a bow. All of this is in the Apple a Day die set. And look, it's an invitation. Isn't
Where
that
can
sweet?
we get these in Canada?
You can get them from me because I ship worldwide. Okay, I wanted to show you that because I have not made a project yet with this, but I cannot wait to do so. This is the cherry on top die set, and it is in the store right now. You get the outer die that does not cut on the bottom so that you can put a score card here, and the cupcake opens up from the bottom. Then you have the section that gives you a dotty spotty little faux stitch topping for the cupcake, and you get a faux stitch for the frame of the cupcake. This one comes with a ladybug. One thing I'm really proud of is that I decided to design these dies so that you get a lot of embellishments. If you purchase this one, you can make an entire project with just this die set, or you can add vines and things, clouds from other die sets if you want, but you don't have to. This has the violets, so little petaled flowers. This has a candle for your cupcake if you choose, a little label in the bottom. It has a ladybug, and it has 2 different types of wings for the ladybug, and then it has the cherry that sits right up on the top. You can see where this curve goes, and the word for you. So this would be perfect for a birthday celebration. I don't know, and my phone is taking videos, so maybe James, you could use your phone and go to TLC Designs and see how much they are. I think they're 12 or 13. I think you'll all find that these are very reasonably priced because I don't have a ton of overhead and I don't have a staff. I do everything myself with my husband, and I want to craft with people regardless of their economic status. I want people to enjoy crafting, and I want to put products out there that are high quality at an affordable rate. So I have tried very hard to do that for all of the crafty friends that join me.
The apple's $13.
There you go, the apple is 13. I think the cherry on top stayed with 13. So this is a brand new die set, and I'll be crafting with it very soon. All right, we still haven't even gotten to this week's project yet, but it is coming up really fast. I like to go over all of the things that are going on this store so that anyone that's interested.
Cherry on top is 13.
There you go. Cherry on top is $13 a set. So let's get to the assembly section of tonight's project. It has full instructions on the back. I have last night pre-cut what we need to get this project started. It shows you all of the, let me take this out of the packet so there's not quite as much glare from this plastic packaging. It'll show you everything that you need and what everything is. It explains it first, and then it shows you how many you cut. Here's for the best for the mechanism die. This is the one for matting underneath the mechanism. And if you wanted to pop something up like I did on this project, here's this die here. So when you're using here's die number 1. It's for the matting. Shows you here. Here's the best die number 2 for the mechanism, and here's the frame that goes smaller on the inside. So what you want to do is cut this die twice from heavy cardstock. So we're going to move this project over, grab these 2, 1, 2. put everything off to the side. Here's the two. I'm going to put this instructions down. Let me get some of this out of the way. There we go. Here are the two frames.
Love the owl.
Thank you. I love him too. I like Winking Wanda as well. They kind of really super cute together. So I'm just going to turn it over on its back. Put a little bit of tape. I like to make sure that the edges are covered really well. Fanatic for making sure that it's right. Okay, because it's an interactive die, this is not metal or plastic, it's paper. It will wear and tear. You want to make it as strong as you can, and I use Simon Says, or is it Simon Says? Yes, it's Simon Says 120-pound white cardstock. So I'm getting an extra thick, firm frame on this project, okay? You want to use the best cardstock you have, and I double it just so that it's firm enough to hold everything up and make the mechanism work. Now it says, place one of the slot dies onto the die cut where you desire the illustration to slide toward each other. Now I was thinking, because I've already made one of these that is vertical, I want to do the horizontal with you all, and it doesn't make any difference as far as assembly goes, but then I won't have two cards that are exactly the same. And I usually send the card that I make on these lives to the winner, so as a little thank you for participating, they get these cards that I make during these lives, because I have already made one that's just like it the night before. So like I said, there's two different assembly or slot mechanisms for the assembly. One is longer than the other. I want to use the long one on a horizontal card so that it'll go as far out to the edges as possible. So let me put this one away. And what it says you want to do is place one of the slot dies onto the die cut where you desire the illustration to slide toward each other. For best results, cut two frames with slot in the same place. Adhere them together. So we've already adhered them together. We're going to decide, I don't know that friends will fit if we put it up super high, so let's go a little bit lower down. We'll have some space at the top to put the word friends. And I learned last night that I really need to pay attention. It's not difficult, but you need to pay attention to whether or not the slots are, what's the word I'm looking for? Level.
Yeah.
Mine are a little bit on a slant, but you can see it didn't really, my husband's picking on me, but it really didn't make a big difference. It was just that Wanda's side was a little higher than Gabe's side. You know, and it doesn't, you can't tell once it's done, but I was kind of embarrassed. I'm like, oh my God, it's cut uneven, but it's not that complicated. Just make sure that you really eyeball it well before you do this. All right, so I'm gonna grab my die cut plates for the Gemini Junior, and I'm just going to give this a run.
Blaine's female.
Huh?
Favorite people and I'm female. Blaine. Blaine.
What about the email? I don't understand what you're saying.
Favorite people and I'm female.
And I'm email?
Female.
Oh, female.
Female.
Okay, I can't hear you. Speak up. Tell him to speak up, ladies. I can't hear him. She does well with going along with the video. You know what? That I learned a long time ago that I'm a hands-on learner. I need to be shown. So I agree. I'm gonna run this through twice. It did cut the second one, the second layer of the paper, but I want to really make sure that it gets a good cut in there, so it's not complicated when I show you guys what it turns out looking like, and I don't have to kind of play with it too hard. Alright, so this is what we have. Now remember, I'm going to put design paper on top of this, so it isn't going to matter that there's sticky residue. And also I have a tool. I have no idea what it's called. It's like a glue removing tool. I'm just being super careful so I don't tear anything. Come on, there you go. Sometimes this works really well, and other times if there's too much pressure in the machine, like the double papers, it does stick really well, really too hard almost. It's not low tack. So I kind of just put it on my cloth t-shirt or whatever and let it grab some fibers and get a little less tacky, and it works pretty well. So as you can see, I'm popping them up right from the back, comes right out. These dies really are good quality dies. This is the tool I was talking about. I don't know what it's called. I've had it for 10 years or more. Gum remover or something. So anytime you get access, I don't know if any of you all have these or if you've ever used them, it is my tip or trick for the day. You just rub it a little and it just takes all the gluey substance off your project. Alright. There you have it. Now I'm also going to use this little guy. Oh, I put a hole here so that, let me see if it'll show up on the video, so that you will get an idea where the exact center is, because it, can you see the little center thing popped up, James?
Yeah.
That I'm pointing to? It tells you, it's almost embossed it, but it tells you exactly where to put that little circle. So we're gonna put it there. And we're gonna tape it down. I'm gonna run it through the machine again. You don't want to add your design paper before you put this hole. The whole object of the game is to avoid having a hole in your design paper top sheet. You only want the hole in the mechanism portion. Where did I put the plates from the cutting machine? Here they are.
Dawn says she saw the hole too.
I can't hear you.
Dawn sees it too.
Oh, good. Alright, I'm going to run this through the machine. Now you don't have to use this die. I wanted to explain that. You could get one of those foam things from the store that is real thick. You kind of do like the roller tool with it and make flowers on it and stuff. You could do that and just use a poker tool and create a hole directly in the center.
Cool technique.
Oh, good. But
You used a Gemini die cutting machine.
I use the Gemini Junior. Yes. I was saying, if you punched it yourself, it might not be quite as smooth. Just make sure that you really smooth that edge out so that your brad doesn't have any issue turning. That's the objective here, is to get really smooth edges so that everything turns appropriately. Okay, so we have this hole. Let's go back to the directions and follow step 2. From heavy cardstock, cut the following pieces for the mechanism. So you're going to cut 2 of the dowel dies. I'll move it off to the right. Got 1. I know I cut everything I needed, so 2. They were still stuck together. I cut 2 at a time actually. So we are going to create our dial. Got tape on there. Put 2 of these together. Now you can just use it like this.
Does your dice work with the old red Sizzix?
These dies will cut with any of the die cutting machines that are on the market. Unless it's that Tim Holtz, I think it's a Vagabond, and it comes, you have to have the dies with that real thick matting. I don't know how whether or not that machine will accept regular thin cut dies. But that's the only one I can think of that it might have an issue. You could leave it like this, but I know that I am picky and choosy, so I cut another one from just the real thin Moda Scrap design paper that we're going to match it with. And I'm going to not forget to stamp my arrow on it this time. And I'm going to assemble this on top of here. I just kind of like things to look finished, I guess. You don't have to do that. This is not like the larger double dial dial. You see more of the dial on that one? James, would you go back to that card thing and see if you can find a double dial die project? I'd love to show everyone what the difference is between this dial and that dial. So we have that. I'm going to get out the stamp set that the winner's going to be receiving tonight. Having friends. And I want to use this stamp that comes with it. Actually, I think I have one already on. Well, it's broke. Isn't there another one? I already have one of those on a black acrylic stamping block, so I'm going to use that one. There you go. I want to show you this double dial die. Now it's been smushed in my cabinet for a little while, so let's see what we can do with it. See how large this dial is? Much bigger. And I still forgot the... Apparently I can't remember to put the stamp that I made intentionally to make this job easier onto my projects, but it doesn't mean that you all will forget. That is a Lavinia Stamps project, by the way. Alright, so here's the stamp. I'm going to use VersaFine Clair. I just want one arrow. So we're just going to put one arrow. I did stamp. James. Who? Doris? Hi, Doris. Glad you could join us. If you're catching up, we're doing a project with the new interactive See You in the Center die from TLCDesigns.shop. So that's what it looks like on the smaller one. The larger of the double dial die interactive. You could use the entire circle and it'll show up real well. So that's done. Now, back to our directions. We have finished those two. Next. Oh yeah? Next, cut 4 of the arms, which explains up here that the arms look like this. So this is the arm die. You cut 4 of them and adhere 2 together and create 1 arm twice. So you're going to cut 4 of them and you're going to double them. 1, 2, 3, 4. One of these had some sort of sticky residue, this one. So I'm going to put that, connect that one to this one. So we had 4 cut. We're making
clear
them
instructions.
good, making them double strong. And again, I use Simon Says 120-pound paper twice because this is paper and it does wear down. Just make sure you don't have any residue or glue or anything yucky inside those holes is all I'm checking on. So we have 2 of these. Then it says cut 8 of the washers and create 4. So the washers look like this. 1, 2. 3, 4, 5, 6. I know I have them in here. 7, 8. Now what I did was double when I cut, so you really only do 4 of them. And we're going to adhere and make actually 4 washers. A lot of this is real simple, step by step, and I love instructions that go step by step because then you can refer back to it before you mess anything up and you have to start the entire project over. Do we agree? What's that big comment, honey?
I figured you want to read down.
Do I prefer a certain name brand of paper for my products? If you're talking about cardstock, I do. I do love, there's a multifarious paper, which I love, and it is at Lavinia. And it does hold water, it holds all sorts of ink, like distress, oxides, all kinds of different things. And I love, Simon Says 120-pound paper, and I also have Altenew Classic Crest Solar White. I love doing flower stamping and cards that are real delicate looking on that paper. And I love 110-pound smooth Solar White Nina. Those are my favorite depending on what the project is. I have several different weights and several different colors of white that I use. Those are the ones that I use. It's a good question.
Curious as to how long it took to make the card from beginning to end.
Oh, well, last night when I sat down and made mine, it's hard to tell you because every time I cut something else for mine, I cut it for tonight.
Do you carry the owls?
So I did double cutting. I do carry both the owls. They are currently digital stamps only. I'd love input from all of you crafty folks. Let me know whether or not you think you would enjoy these as polymer stamps as well as digital. I love Gazing Gabe almost more than I love Winking Wanda. He's just sweet. He's super, super sweet. And I'd love to see him in like a 2.5-inch stamp. The ones that I printed out tonight for the project, which anyone that's new that's coming in, I will show you the project that we're working on right now, from last night's one that I actually made. They're about 2.25 inch high. But I was thinking how cute that would be if you didn't want to fussy cut them.
I prefer actual stamps over digital.
Yeah, a lot of people do. I'm getting that response quite a bit, actually. I wanted to do my store starter stamps with sentiments so that when I get the design team going, they will have both digital illustrations and sentiment stamps to work with and all of the dies that are in the store. So I had to pick and choose what I wanted to put into polymer, but like I mentioned before, some of these dies are selling super well, and I can put a little bit more money in and get some illustrations done into polymer stamps.
Too.
Oh, Denise, you like stamps too, but do you buy both? I mean, when you fall in love with the illustration, do you actually get the digital? See how cute? Isn't he sweet? I am in love with that owl. He is just adorable. This is what he looks like in the stamp. I think he's so sweet. And I wanted to come up with a really sweet name, and he's just gazing, like his eyes are so big. Yes, fuzzy cutting that owl would throw me over the top. See, I'm a big fussy cutter. I love it because it's relaxing, but some people are like, oh, stick a needle in my eye instead, please. It's just not good. And then there's arthritis, there's the, sight issues, that sort of thing. So it's not for everyone. I agree. Even though they're immediate gratification, they're any size you want them to be. And you can alternate the actual, if they're facing left, you can make them face right, all sorts of different things with digitals, but stamps have their qualities as well. So I have 4 of the little washers. Back to the directions. Step number 3. There's an embossing hole between the 2 slots in die 2. Either cut this hole with a tool or punch or use the included die, which we've already done and we've gone through, but I wanted to make sure that was clear on the instructions. So now we're getting to the nitty-gritty of the assembly. Place the dial under your frame and find the closest matching holes of dial and frame. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to put this and this so that you can see. All right, you can see the actual dial from the bottom of the card. I'm probably going to use the extra little tool that comes with this set. Oh, and I just dropped it. Of course. Here it is. I put this die in the set so that we can use it on a project. So let's use it here first. Now it's barely tacky at all, which is perfect for die cutting. Put this in the die cut. I don't want this hanging outside of this center tip, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a space out of this so that this dial will be level with this edge and this edge. Depending, now if I If I use this mechanism on any other frame that I might already have, I might want to do the same thing. I love using ornate shaped frames for cards because it just adds that speciality to it, makes it look a little bit more unique than a plain A2 square or rectangular sized card project. Adds a little flair to it. So now what I've done is created that space, and I wanted to do that before I decide what hole I'm going to assemble this dial into.
What kind of tape are you using?
This is called purple tape. I talked about it last week, and a woman said that there is actually lower tack purple tape. I don't know that I got that one because this one's pretty darn strong when you run it through the Gemini Junior, but purple tape is the name of it. So I have the dial and I have the space that I want. I want to turn it over and match the closest hole. Let's see, that's a little bit not short enough. Not a little bit too short. So I can either cut more up, leaving more space, or I can punch a different hole if I wanted to. Let's see. I don't know that I want it to hang down that low, so let's make this hole a little deeper. As you can see, I made it so that it gets really deep. Look at how much space you can actually make into that, but I just want about that much more. I have things sticking to my arms over here, and I have no idea why, because the air conditioner is on. Should be nice and cool. And ladies, rotate your plates. And just purchase brand new Gemini Junior plates, because if you don't rotate them, they can become all wonky. I don't know if anyone else suffers from that ailment, but it just made it terrible to try and cut dies. Okay. And run this through, cut it a little bit deeper. The best thing about this die set is its versatility. No matter where you create the slot mechanism on your project, there's going to be a setting on the dial that will adapt to it, and then if you need more space on the bottom of it.
Is that Gemini Electric?
Yes. Gemini Junior is plug in and you put the plates in and it just takes it automatically and cuts it.
My big shot plates are wonky.
Yeah. And they're not inexpensive. I mean, they really get a lot of money for them, I think. But, you know, you have to have it for the machine, so I'm going to take some of this residue off with this tool that I can't remember the name of because I'm older and I've had it forever and I just never say the name of the tool. So now let's look and see how much happier we are with the setting of the die. The problem was you cannot use the first hole or the last hole to connect to the center of this base. Just remember that, keep that in your mind. Turn this over. So we're going to use the second hole then. Okay?
Art gum eraser.
Art gum eraser. Who knew the name of that? Denise, you're brilliant. I don't know how anyone could remember the name of that. Okay. So now we know that we're going to use the second hole up. That's the objective. Create what you want out of your base with where you've put your slots. That was the step we were trying to get to. So we are the second hole up. It cannot be the first or the last hole. It says no, no. you want to see a little of the dial from underneath. This one we're going to see a lot more of the dial, but that's fine. I'm okay with that with this project. It's no big deal. It does explain that there's a bonus tool, and you get this cute little hole for the center. You get the dial, the die that we just used, and when you cut die number 3, you get a cute little coordinating inlay. So you actually get more die cuts out of this die than there are dies. So the assembly instruction, the dial gets assembled beneath the frame, okay? You don't want to put it on top of the actual base. You will need 7 brads for the assembly, and here's the wings and here's the head. Some people have not worked with brads, so I understand that they might not know what which one is which. I got some kind of ink, VersaFine ink on me. Step number 4, use the brads number 1 and number 2 to mimic this mechanism with the wings of the brad upward toward you. Okay? So we want, both of these arms, right?
I've used brads in my projects.
Yeah? Awesome. So what you want to do is you want to put brad number 1 and brad number 2 on either side of the hole that you've chosen from the dial. We have chosen number 2. So we are going to put a brad through and connect this arm this way. Oops, wrong way. This arm this way, and this arm this way. Okay? Leaving that second hole open. Alright, so, and it also shows you all the way along, it shows you the front view and the back view. So as long as yours looks just like the picture, then you're good to go. Alright.
Any certain size brad?
Well, I think the mini braided wings are better for the holes that are already used and made in this die. And I'm going to say that, but it does not mean that if you don't have mini brads, you have to run out to the store and get them. All it means is you need to put the larger brad in and twist it to make the hole a little bit bigger so that it is smoother. I use these because the holes are for the smaller ones. If I cut the big holes in the die cut and everyone wanted to use the mini brads, or they only had the mini brads, it wouldn't work the other way around. So if you have the larger winged, wider winged brads, you can use them. Just twist it and make the hole a little bit larger and nice and smooth before you put it in permanently. Also, one other thing about the brads, I have several brads that are, what's the word, high up in dimension. I like to use the flattest brad that I can find, something that's not going to make a ton of space between each piece of paper. So I found these on Amazon, and I think they were a no brand, but I couldn't swear to it. As long as they have flat tops, this is called Flower something. I'll try and find where I got them. But they came to me just like this from Amazon, so it doesn't really say who makes them. So this is what I use, and I've never had any sort of issue at all, so they work well for me. Alright, let's start the assembly again real quick.
I ordered some of those tiny brads, cover brads off Amazon for cheap.
Oh yeah, I found them, they were really inexpensive too. I think I paid $4.99 or something. Just make sure the brad doesn't have a real thick, you know, bump. I think there's some in this bag that I used the other day for a different project. I can show you what I'm talking about, the difference between the height. This one has this round bump, and it's a lot wider of a space than these flowers are. There's something, spare parts was the name on the ones that I used to have a long time ago, and they worked perfect as well. So I think that's a Tim Holtz brand or a Ranger or something. I can't be positive about that, but they're a long time ago. So what we're going to do is put brad number 1 and brad number 2. Let me see. I have to think now that my concentration is off. Okay. In the end, I want it to look like this from the back, so it goes this way. Yeah, it's a good brand. I can't seem to get this one to squeeze. I'm sorry, my nails are just trying to fight me tonight. There we go. Really get that in there. Down as low as you can get it. These come really wide and not squared off for some reason. I'm not sure why they do that. Okay, so, oops, I'm going to take that and put this here. We're using hole number 2 was our choice for height. So now we're going to put this one in number 3, push it down, grab our tool, 1, 2, take our tool out and see it's perfect. Okay? Then you keep
saw a big assortment of the mini breads in various shapes and sizes at Michael's recently.
Really? I didn't think Michael's was open to the public. I thought, oh, they just did open recently. You used to have to order it online and then go to the store. So we're going to put this one this way.
Was it bits and pieces from Spellbinder?
What?
Was it bits and pieces from Spellbinder?
I don't know. I think I might have put this one on incorrectly. I think I did. I'm going to have to stay focused on what I'm talking about, ladies. I want to look at something else. If I use that hole, you're going to be able to see that brad. Which I don't like. Don't like that one. So, let me look at something real quick. Yeah, that one was really high up. I'm looking at the other sample. So what I think I'll do is cover up this a little bit with the grass when we make it. So, but this is the right way. Let me look at this guy. Yeah, it's on top and it's got the color. So yeah. I was doing it right. You'd think I'd be able to assemble these. I did that one right. I did this one wrong. This way. Flip it over. I lost focus talking too much about stores and buying. Okay, so from the back, it looks just like this one, okay? Connect each arm to the dial, one above the designated hole from step number 3, which was number 2 hole. Put brads 3, 4, and 5 through the washers. Now this is where
I like using the flathead brads for cards. I'm sending in the nail. Anything with round heads get caught in the nail. Sorting machines.
oh, see?
How to nail your finished cards.
Well, clear, what's it called, where I get those plastic little containers, clear bags, has square, let me see if I can find you one, hang on, I think they're right down here. In my drawer. This is how I sell them in the stores, the craft store that's in town. Clearbag sells these, and then what I might do is put a piece of cardboard like this, thick cardboard on each side, and put the card in the center. It might cost extra, but that's probably how I would do it. If I was going to, you know, create something that's intricate, thick, and more complicated, I wouldn't want anything in the mail to squish this mechanism anyway. So this is what I get from clear bags. Alright, what was I doing? Oh, put brads 3, 4, and 5 through the washers and the frame. So the first thing I'm going to do is put this head up. Close it temporarily. As you notice, I have not cut the design paper out yet, so it actually covers up my the deepness of my cut here. So I'm going to apply designer paper. And what that's going to do is cover up the middle brads I just put in there temporarily. Goes this way. There is a difference between this bump and the one that's at the bottom on this die.
Thanks, my hubby is a nail man, so I gladly pay the extra.
Yeah. Okay, now what you can notice is I have the brad ready to use for the mechanism itself. See? But you can't see it from the outside. Now, what I also want to do, grab my dial slot. I'm going to cut this real quick into this other paper, just like, because it fits in there. Probably should have done it earlier. Doesn't make any difference. Sometimes I end up taking a project apart 10 times before I'm happy with it. Okay, so we're going to put this back in real quick and cut this.
Helpful.
Make sure it fits in the groove. Well, I've only made 2 or 3 of these, so we are all learning together. I think it's better for everyone to see that there are no perfect crafters anyway. It's okay to have to try and figure something out with the way that you want to make it.
I'm almost perfect.
He's almost perfect, he says. Well, because today is our 32nd wedding anniversary, I'll let you get away with that, but don't think you can do it again. Happy anniversary, James. Okay. I'm going to run this through the die cutter. Get those slot holes in the designer paper. In the same exact position as they're in on the card base. I don't like how cut. I'm going to run it through again. But it sounds like it's really laboring. It doesn't like the double 120 cardstock and the design paper with it. This machine is...
I saved my junk mail with sturdy postcards. Lots of those lately. They are great for protecting cards in the mail.
Oh, what did she say was? 3D postcards?
No, she saves her junk mail if they have sturdy postcards.
Oh, sturdy.
Denise's happy anniversary. So
Thank
Amy.
you.
Amy's going to celebrate 33 this year.
Wow, isn't that something? Not a lot of people can make it that long. But it is a true blessing. Truly a blessing. I know that cut, I just need to get it out of there. I can see that it's cut correctly.
Patty's
There.
going to celebrate 29
What?
next Wednesday. Patty. Very good.
Oh, 29? That's really good. Congratulations. Congratulations to anybody that can, you know, nowadays especially, ladies, it is very difficult to, even economically, I mean, everyone has to have 2 jobs in the house. It's just a different generation, and it's entirely a different story to try and survive what the world is today than it was when our parents were married. So here's what it looks like when you cut the slots out. So we are done with that. I am going to reopen this because I just know it will if I tell it strongly enough.
Denise Bryant, 43 years here on July 4th.
43! Congratulations, Denise.
I feel young now.
James feels young now. I don't know that that's true, because if you saw his beard, it's as gray as my hair. So he's not any, he's younger than me by 3 months, and he reminds me every year.
Denise says, I like to say that I was a child bride.
A what?
A child bride.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, you were super young. Okay, I'm going to temporarily open this. So now we have what I'm happier with.
Kate's going to be celebrating 33 years.
33, congratulations. It says a lot when people can, you know, make it and stay determined to be married. Alright, so now what we're going to do is 3, head up. Put the bread through the washer, number 1, the slot of the frame, then through washer number 2, and open the wings from the back. So here's your washer. We're going to take a brad, put it through the washer. This brad needs to be squished down. We're going to put it through the frame, through another washer. Paper always slides better on paper. Where's the tool? What did I do? Here it is. Did you see Connie Etter by any chance?
No.
Oh, I've been missing Connie. Okay. Ta-da! And then you do that again on the other side. the washer. See how it's not, like, they're not connected. You have to really squish it down and get those arms out. The wing of the brad. It's weird. It's what you get when you buy cheap ones. They'll work. This one goes here. Put another washer on it. And then get your tool. This brad doesn't have much of an arm on this edge. I might have to switch this brad. Pull it up. That was funny, James. I pulled it right out. Did you see it? Let me try. That was funny. I'm glad I'm having a good time. See, this brad is funky.
Think you know what I'm doing?
Ha ha ha. He's picking on me. I don't think that's very nice. Let's see. There, I think they're a little bit more even now. I had squished it so that it would be flatter, and when I did so, one of the wings was teeny tiny, the other one was super long. Okay. Now through the frame. Where's the other? Here it is. This guy. Put your tool in. Open the wings. There. Take your tool out. So this is what we have, ladies and gentlemen, whoever might be joining us. We have two mobile washers. So then it says, let me show you the picture of it. So first it says to go ahead and put your brad through the center, which I did, and then I applied the design paper to the top of it.
Another brad.
Yeah. Then you put a brad through this one, which is the closest to the center. You put it through the washer, through the frame, through another washer, and close it, and do the same thing on the other side. Now, step 6. Take the mechanism from step number 4, this guy here, with the brad wings up. Brad wings up. Where am I? Brad wings up, and put the third hole down as in step number 3. So this one was the third hole. We have the second hole. Through brad number 5 and open the wings and use the tool for space. Follow the same steps, both of these brads. So we're going to make it look just like this one, and we are going to put this, I'll reopen this brad that I temporarily had closed. We're going to use the second hole like we determined. Squish them together. For some reason they don't like to stay together. So basically what we're doing is we're applying the dial now to the project. Open the wing. Okay. That moves so smooth. It's so nice. And then you can see this wing on the top is going to go to, it has the arm already attached to it, and that hole is going to go to the washer hole. Okay, so it's actually really simple if you think about it. You're going to put this way, because we already put the brads that are closer to this center brad here. Now all you're going to do is pop this over here and put a brad through all of that. So let me grab our brad. Yes, that's funny. I'm saying that a lot, actually. Grab a brad.
Who's Brad?
I feel like a parrot. Who's Brad? You're hilarious. Alright. Oops. My husband is interrupting. I'm kidding. I don't mind. Alright, so we're going to put this through here. First through the washer. Oh, my fingernails. Through the washer. Through the card itself. Through the other washer. There, thank you. And then this arm. Oh, finally. Here's your tool. I love this tool. It's a good tool. I talk a lot when I craft. Do you ladies talk a lot when you craft? What's your favorite thing to eat when you craft? That's a really good question. I don't think I've ever asked anybody that. And then, give me my arm. Oh, there. See, I fixed it too because you can't see it. So anyway, this is the next one that we're going to do. We're going to do the same exact thing. So we're going to grab a brad. These brads are so funky. Usually when you buy brad, they're already squished down and they look like, you know, an L on the inside. These ones you have to put together for some reason. When they manufactured them, they thought, oh, we'll just let the crafter do it. Makes it harder to get through. There. Now through the hole. I'm cruising along. Now through this other washer. And then the arm. Come on. Don't lose it. There.
Some dark chocolate would be my choice, but you gotta stop and wash your hands.
Yes, especially for inking or doing any kind of coloring or gluing. Yeah, that would be not good. So that's what we have, ladies. Test it out. Make sure your project is good. Awesome! I love it. Okay. So, now that we have done the assembly of the actual project, oh, what time is it? Do you know?
Yeah, it's 48.
9:48. 8:48 or 9?
9:48.
Oh, okay. So this is the project that I created. All I did was added a few clouds, put a frame on top. I'd love to show you how I did the actual grass, but all I did was put the grass down after doing a little bit of green coloring on the top of it with shabby shutters, distressing. This one doesn't really have as much space for grass anyway. So, but what I did was took this and then put this on top of it. Nope, the bigger one, this one. I'm gonna try and finish up and call out for the winner real quick. Just cut that grass in the same exact one and apply it to the bottom, which is super easy. And then I just stamped on the inside. These I cut from, I put the printer paper, my designer paper, watercolor naturals. I glue it down to some cardstock because cardstock doesn't always run really well through my printer, but you just grab that out. This die set is from the Tiny Vine die set, and I just snipped wherever I thought that the flowers needed a stem, that it would be really cute. And then I just cut some extra little flowers, and they come with the set. You'll get some of these flowers that you can cut off and just make them into flowers, pop them on top, and that's the entire project. Now this one, when you apply this to the card base, which I've already cut right here, I cut this on the score without cutting the top, but then I just cut another white and it sits right on top, so you have it as if it looks like you made an entire card that way. When you go to apply this, everywhere that you want to bump it up. You don't want, you need to leave enough space. Let me see, can you see? You need to leave enough space for this entire mechanism to work. So you're gonna put pop dots. Move this around while you're applying the pop dots, and do not apply the pop dots anywhere that it would touch. So you can do all over here. You can't do here, okay? You do these edges and then apply it to the card, and I'll show you what that looks like. Just like that.
Love your owls, they're adorable.
I'm glad you like them. I want to show you another trick. When I apply the owl to the brad, I just pop the owl into the center, and then I put the same thickness of pop dots and leave this little thing on this other one, so that when he is up, he can't go this way. Okay? So, because you have to be present in order to win, James is going to pick a number from
42.
He's going to pick a number from 0 to 28. Go.
7.
7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Amy Dotson Dixon. If you are still here with us, exactly, that's what I don't craft.
Please raise your hand.
Amy Dotson Dixon. You're still with me. If you are not subscribed to the newsletter at TLCDesigns.shop yet, you're more than welcome to do that, and then I will have your address to send this to. You are the winner of the See You in the Center die set, which is the one we just assembled, and the Hopping Friends sentiment set. And I will get that in the mail to you as soon as possible. If you don't want to subscribe, that's fine. Just go ahead and send me a private text message and give me the snail mail address so that I can send them off to you, and we'll get those to you tomorrow morning when I'm doing shipping again. So thank you so much, ladies, for joining me. I know that this was a long one. I wanted to make sure that I did all the announcements in the store and then assembled this for the first video so that people can see what it can actually do. I'm really happy with the owls. I think that they just are lovely together even. I don't know how I can imagine anything cuter than these two cute little owls together. I hope you all have a great week. I will see you again next Thursday with some new dies in the store and another video to share, and I promise I'll keep it closer to 1 hour instead of 2. I hope that you all do well this week, and we will see you soon. Stay crafty, okay? Bye.